going to talk about the data file and how to change the properties and parameters in the data file. So we will start from the basic section and then we will continue to the last section. So we start, as you saw from the first lecture, that it has 8 sections, starting from run spec, then we have grids, then we have props, we have summary, we have schedule, we have regions. Each of them has its own parameter. So we start from the run spec and see how we can change the parameter and what we can change the parameter. So let's start from this spvec file and let's check their effect on this one. Well, first of all, the run spec section. The most important part of the run spec section is the first of all this units is very important. What you are dealing with, oil, water, or gas. So in this case, you can how many components it has. Okay, 6 components. Now what we will do here, we will change the dimensions here. For example, now it's 773. I will show you, then I will change it, and then the simulation start date is 1 January 1990. So it can be say you can say 7th of May 2020, and we can play with it. So let's first run this file and see how it works. So in order to check this file in its grid blocks, I will open an office and I will show you. So I went through this Lucy ECL 2019 bin NPC, and I will open the office. Office is open now. So I will file, new project, any name, and from the case, import case, and in the Eclipse folder we have spvec file. This is the file that we have. Now in the case, go to in the data, go to the grids and run from the keywords, click yes, and once you go you get 3D. Okay, now here you can see our grids. We put the details, and apply. So now you can see how many grids we have. 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now we will change this 7 to 12 and see its effect on it. So what we will do, we will close this, go to the data file. Here it is. We change it to 12. But I tell you right now, just by changing the dimension here, it's not going to work. Let's run it and then I will show you that how the errors come out. So save. I save the file and I will go to the Eclipse. Here's the Eclipse function. I will run this data file, but it will show error. You will see. So now you see we have 9 errors coming up. 9 errors. Why these errors came up? Well, you change the dimensions in the data file here. You change the dimension here, 12, 12, and 3. So the total grids now we have is 12 multiplied by 12 multiplied by 3. 432 cells we have now. But the property in the grid section, which you are defining here, is in x direction. Now we don't have 7, we have 12. So in y direction also we have 12. In z direction we have now same 20, 30, 50, but x, y are different. So that's why it is showing here, because the properties we settled, it was based on the 7 by 7 by 3, but now we have 12 12 by 3, 12 12 by 3. So we have to change everything. So we have to change 7 by 12 here. So we will change this by 12. We will change this by 12. There was a multiplication here. 7 multiplied by 7 was 49. So now we will change it to 144. We will change it to 144. We will change it to 144. And total number of cells, now no more 143. Now is we have 432. 432. For me, x is now 144. You have to multiply 144, 144, 144, 144. This is x and y, so we have to multiply 144 with this one also, this one also. We will discuss grid blocks, why we have to write 3 times. When we come to the grid section, we will discuss it in detail. So now we save it here. Now you run the file, and I hope that the file will run, and if shows error, we will try to solve it again. But let's look at it. Run Eclipse, running this file. Now you see the file is running. It's quite okay. So now we successfully changed the the, the grids, and now you see we have 0 error, no error. We just solved the error. So now I will show you 12 12 by 3 grids and how they work. This grid may be, because of license, may not work. So let's look at it from the office. Now I will import the case, same as SPY. Let it import. Okay, we have to now go to the data grid section, get from keywords 3D. Okay, before we said that we have 7 blocks, and now we are supposed to have more. Actually, this is the old one. We have to close it. Here we have now. It is still showing 7. I need to close all, and then start it again. Let's look at the 2D first. Here you see now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have now 12 here and 12 in the y direction. And the well location, one is here, is the well one, and the other location is here. You can see here. Now if we go to the 3D, it should show the same 12 by 12. Here is the 12 by 12. And if I try to show the tick mark, it goes to, okay. Now it's actually there are 12 grid blocks, but it is showing 7. There's error in the software, so we need to consider it. XLV. Okay, so that was the grid log. But here you can, in 2D, you can see it clearly shows that we have the, since we are using the older version, some of the parts are not functioning well, but here you can see in 3D it is working fine. 2D it is working quite okay. So that's how you can change this grids of this SPE WEG. Now it is 6 component. Now second thing you can change here is the date. It was 1st January 1990, you can write it 2020. So this is, we can go back and change it 2020. So now again, if you go back in the office section, close it. I will go import SPY again. Okay. Now when you go to the gas definition, you will see now it is showing date 2020, and grid dimension here 12, 12, and 3. And we are talking about the compositional simulation, and there's no title, but we can put the title. Let's say reservoir simulation class. So now the it, title also showed up. Yeah, in this definition you define in the title also. Then we have the reservoir description, PVT description, we have oil, water, gas. So by using this kind of method to solve the eclipse is very complicated by using this option of, but that's why we use the data files only. We play with the data files to solve this one. Now if we change, now there are some other important one, diameter, which is the well dimension. This is very important. How many wells we have and what are the dimensions. This we will touch it once we go to the summary schedule section where we put our wells. So there we will use it. For now, just in the run spec section, there are 3 to 4 more important parameters. The number one, the most important was the dimensions. Okay. Second most important is the unit. Of course, this is the compulsory. I mean, more than important because what phases you have here. Okay, and the start date you put it here. So these are the 4 or 5 things of run spec section that you can. So maybe I will put an assignment to change the dimensions. So you need to learn how to change the dimensions in the data files in this one. So that's all about the run spec section. Now we will try to change the properties here in the grid section in the next video. But this video ends up here for run spec section.